Hello you guys, this is Kim and bienvenidos to a timeless reading where we are going to find out what is it that is coming to an end and what new beginning this ending is giving way to. We will also take a look at what the transition from this ending to this beginning will be like, what it will entail, as well as find out what is something that you can look forward to in this new beginning. Okay, but now let us take a closer look at the options. So there are three groups to choose from. Starting off for group 1, we have the light colored purple flower. For group 2, we have California pepper tree seeds. And for group 3, we have the dark purple colored flower. So please take a moment to cast your gaze upon these options to see which one calls out to you, because the one that calls out to you will be the reading for you. And once you have chosen, then please head on over to the comment section down below as well as the description box where the timestamp for each group is provided so that you can skip right on over to your reading. Okay, but now that you have chosen, let's get right into your messages. Let's go! Hello you guys who chose group 1, the light purple colored flower. Bienvenidos to your reading. So before I start shuffling the decks and pulling out cards, I would like to share with you what I intuitively picked up on when connecting with the energy of your group. So there was this message that came through as soon as I tapped into this group's energy about writing down your ideas. Whatever ideas come to mind that get you excited, that get you feeling pumped up, even if the ideas seem a little out there or far-fetched, write them down. Don't forget about them is the message that is coming through. Don't forget these ideas that come to you, because they could be ideas that are being sent to you by the divine, by your higher self, or there are ideas that will help you get more clarity about something in specific that you are wondering about. Like for example, if you are wondering what is the next thing that you should focus on, or what is the next thing that you should work on or create, or what is your calling and so forth, these ideas could help you make sense of what that next project is or what you are being called to do at this moment. Yeah, so maybe you find that all of these ideas have something similar. Maybe they're all about writing, or they're all about working with others, or they're all about music or helping the environment. And that gives you kind of a clue as to what the focus is or where to start looking. So write down all of the ideas that come to you, especially those that inspire you or get you excited. No matter how silly and or far-fetched or fantastical these ideas might seem to you in the moment. The other thing that I sensed for this group was excitement and eagerness. There was this feeling of wanting to get going, like wanting to start creating or wanting to move on to the next thing or wanting to get something going. So I did also feel a bit of impatience, and when I was feeling through this energy, the message that came to me was something along the lines of, don't rush. There is no need to rush. It's okay that you're excited. It's okay that you're eager to move on to the next thing or to start moving even, yet there is no need to rush. If you are feeling a bit impatient at this moment, or you are feeling like you need to be doing something or you need to be moving faster, it could very well be that you are picking up on the energy of change. You are sensing that something is brewing and something is about to commence or get going, or things are about to accelerate, pick up speed. Yeah, so you feeling this urge to do more or to move at a quicker pace is not exactly an indicator that you should be doing more and moving faster. It's just you sensing the energy that is coming in or about to come in. Yeah, so don't put so much pressure on yourself to do more or be more or move faster, because you can take it slow. You can move at a gentler, steadier pace and you will still be, on time or right on track. Yeah, and it's recommended to not push yourself right now. It's recommended to not force for things to move faster, because that could burn you out. And when things do start moving a lot quicker in your outer reality, you might feel like you don't have the energy to keep up with everything else. Yeah, so if things are quite chill right now, it's for a reason. This could simply be universe giving you a small break, a time to kind of recharge and prepare for when things do pick up pace. Yeah, so now I'm going to move into the cards. So first we are going to look at what is it that is coming to an end, and then we are going to find out what new beginning this ending is giving way to. Okay? So for group 1, what is it that is coming to an end? So we have the Two of Wands, and I'm just going to clarify this Two of Wands. Oops. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords, number 14, the Roses in reverse. Okay, I find this quite interesting because the Two of Wands literally represents restlessness. We literally have this kitty looking out at the horizon, kind of waiting for something, and the world, the globe, is right under its paw. So yeah, I feel like some of you guys are sensing that something is about to change or something is about to come in, new energy. And you might be feeling restless, waiting for this new energy to come in. So what I see ending for you guys is this waiting period, is this feeling of not knowing what is going on behind the scenes. We do have the Nine of Swords in reverse, and the Nine of Swords is a card that represents anxiety, worry, overthinking, second guessing, doubt. So yeah, this period of wondering what is out there, what is happening behind the scenes, is coming to an end. The Two of Wands can also indicate decisions, options. So with the Nine of Swords being in reverse, it could be that you have been experiencing a time in which you are not sure what next step to take, what to focus on, what path to choose. Maybe you do have choices or options, or you are considering a lot of different paths, but you haven't yet figured out what path to take. Oh, and it's interesting, I just noticed we have these two flowers here, and one of them is a rose. Oh, so with this rose card being in reverse, this time of like second guessing, going back and forth and wondering what path should I take is coming to an end. I do see you making a decision, and it could very well be that you coming to this decision is what is helping things move along, or is what is helping this new energy that you have been sensing and picking up on energetically to finally come in. Yeah, and I do want to let you guys know that there's no wrong or right choice. That's the vibe I'm getting with these two cards. I feel like you guys have been kind of prolongating making a decision or choosing something because there is a fear of choosing the wrong thing. And Spirit wants for you to know that there is no wrong choice. I feel like your options or what you have been considering, they're all really good options. And so whichever you choose, you're going to get something valuable out of it, or you're going to create something beautiful with it. Yeah, because all these like options here, these two different flowers, these two different wands, they're all beautiful. Like, I don't feel none of these are any less than or better than the other. They're all equal in value. Some of you, it could very well be that you have tried out something. You have tried out a path, or you have given a choice, an option, an opportunity, and maybe you found out by trying that it's not the best match for you, or it's not the best fit. And so that kind of gave you clarity about what to commit to. That could have resulted in you choosing the other path or the other option. Yeah, because with the rose being in reverse, I feel like some of you have chosen not to take the path of the rose. And how would I interpret these two different flowers is the rose represents passion, and the word that just came to mind is instigation. It's very in the moment, it's very action orientated. It's kind of taking action in response to our feelings, how you feel in the moment. Whereas this other flower here, which I'm not sure what this flower may be, a lily? Yeah, I believe it's a lily. It represents purity, innocence, as well as spirituality, something that is more in alignment with the soul, the inner being. Whereas the rose feels more a bit ego-driven. It has more to do with humanly desires and pleasures. Yeah, so maybe you find that something you thought you wanted because it would bring you happiness or fulfillment is not the thing that you actually are needing. And you are choosing a path that offers you what you need. Yeah, because I'm differentiating these two flowers between want and desire versus need and what is. So you could end up choosing a path that is more in alignment with maybe your spiritual journey, more in alignment with your soul's calling, rather than your ego's desires or your idea of what brings about happiness and fulfillment. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so I also get the feeling that the path that you might end up choosing might be an unexpected one to you. Yeah, because I feel like the path that you will end up choosing is a path that wasn't your first choice, but it's the path that you end up feeling the most excited about. Yeah, because the rose makes me think of luxury, of something spectacular, of all the bells and whistles, whereas the lily is something more subtle, something more simplistic, but full of depth and charm as well. Yeah, so I'm also getting something like choosing a more simplistic lifestyle or choosing the path of least resistance. Yeah, and the Two of Wands can also indicate this idea that the grass is always greener on the other side, and we literally have like fields of grass here. So with the Nine of Swords being in reverse, I also feel that what is ending is this feeling of missing out, or feeling like life is passing you by, or like you're not part of the excitement that is life. Yeah, so there's also kind of this feeling of, up until now, I haven't been living. I haven't been experiencing life to the fullest, or I haven't been able to express myself to the fullest. So if you resonate with that kind of feeling, I do sense this is what is ending, feeling like you are missing out, or feeling like your life has been placed on pause. And I also sense that what is coming to an end is this feeling of wondering what is out there, because by holding on to this belief that the grass is always greener on the other side, that doesn't permit one to enjoy the here and now. It's like because beautiful and wonderful things could be happening where this kitty is at, but if this kitty is always looking outward, wondering what is out there, then they won't be able to fully experience the beauty and wonder that they are currently in. Yeah, we literally have the rose in reverse, which is known to be one of the most beautiful flowers on earth. So you could currently be experiencing a feeling of dissatisfaction. And so if that is the case, I do see this feeling of dissatisfaction coming to an end. And it could be because new and exciting things are abound and will be happening in your life. But I also feel that the reason why this feeling of dissatisfaction is coming to an end, it's more so because you're letting go of this belief that the grass is always greener on the other side. Like, you are allowing yourself to really enjoy the here and now and see the beauty of the here and now. Realize that yes, maybe there's something exciting out there, but that doesn't mean that it is better than what I am experiencing now, because there is beauty everywhere I go. Oh, okay, I'm being reminded of a quote from the series Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I went looking for my ideals outside of myself. I discovered it's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. So the line that is really standing out to me that I feel goes really well with this reading is, it's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. Yeah, I feel like that is what you guys are discovering, that it's not the world's job to bring in the excitement, the fun, and the beauty to you. It is more our responsibility to see and find the beauty in the world, because there is beauty everywhere, even in chaos. I know that's hard to believe when we are going through very difficult times, but I have found that even in moments of chaos, there is still beauty around us. But as mentioned, it is our responsibility to not to find it, but rather to be open to it, to acknowledge it. So I do see your perspective about life, especially your life, changing, where this new perspective is allowing you to enjoy your present moment a lot more and just allow for you to feel a part of your life, a part of the experience. And I feel like by you allowing yourself to be more in the present, you are also allowing yourself to be more in a receptive mode, where the wonders of life, of your life, can now come better into your focus. Yeah, because it could be that all that we want is right here or surrounding us in some way, but because we're looking out there, all that surrounds us, it's out of focus. And so we can't see it. We can't fully experience it. And so what I'm seeing here is that by you being more on the receptive mode, being more here in the present, all that you need and you desire in the here and now will come into better focus. But I definitely do see a period of waiting, wondering, dissatisfaction is coming to an end. And I feel like some of you guys have been waiting for a green light. Maybe there is something that you want to start, something that you want to get going, but the circumstances haven't been favorable yet, or you have been waiting for some kind of green light. And so that could have resulted in a feeling of impatience, even frustration. Like, I'm ready to get this started. I'm ready to start getting this going, but like something is not allowing me to do so. Something outside of me. Yeah, maybe some of you have been waiting for like resources or for an approval, or maybe just you've been waiting to have more time. And so whatever it is that you need in order to start or get going, you will be receiving it very, very soon. I also feel like some of you guys have been waiting for something or someone. Yeah, and you waiting for this something or someone has created a lot of anxiety, because I feel like you've been waiting for quite some time, and because you've been waiting for quite some time, you're starting to doubt whether this is ever going to happen, whether this something or someone is ever going to come in or make its way to you. Yeah, and again, that period of doubting, of second guessing is coming to an end. So that could indicate that whatever it is you have been waiting for is finally making an entrance into your life, or you're coming into alignment with it in some way. But we'll double check with the next section of the reading, where we're gonna find out what new beginning this ending is giving way to. I also strongly feel a lot of you guys will end up traveling or moving. Relocating possibly. But there's something about physically moving, a physical move, or traveling somewhere new. But okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles. My little flowers keep flying away. Okay. To clarify the Four of Pentacles, another card in reverse, we have the Seven of Wands, number 20. Oh, with the lilies. That's so interesting. So that is so interesting. So in this card, we have lilies and roses, and the two clarifiers that fell out for you guys is literally roses and lilies, and both of them came out in reverse. Yeah, so flowers could be important for you guys, especially roses and lilies. Maybe you will be seeing them often once you're going through this ending or about to step into this new beginning. Is there such thing as birth flowers? Maybe one of these are your birth flower, or they could be the birth flower of someone who will be playing a significant role in your life, or who is playing a significant role in your life. I know countries also have national flowers, so because I did speak about travel, it could be that you will be traveling to a country whose national flower is either the lily or the rose. I'm especially sensing the lily. So the Four of Pentacles speaks about holding on, not wanting to let go, or having a difficult time in letting go of something that is really precious to you or that you fear losing. And then the Seven of Wands in reverse represents surrendering. So because we have this lily in this new beginning, I do see you choosing the path of the lily. Or I do see you choosing something, making up your mind about something you've been going back and forth about. And once you choose this, you do find that it is something that means a lot to you, that is very precious to you. That's the vibe I get with the Four of Pentacles. And so your first reaction might be to hold on to this. So just to give an example, let's say you find out what your calling is or what your passion is. Yeah, because the Four of Pentacles is giving me this feeling of certainty. The moment that you feel certain that this is your calling, this is your passion, you could hesitate on taking some action towards it. Or instead of sharing your skills, your knowledge, your talents with the world, making something out of this passion of yours. Yeah, I mentioned the world because we do literally have the globe, the world, and the Two of Wands. You keep it to yourself. Okay, another example keeps coming to mind, so I'm going to share that one. Let's say you discover that your passion is music. And your dream, your secret dream, is to share your music with the world. But because this dream, what you're creating, means something so special to you, something so personal, there is a fear or a hesitancy to share this with the world. Because you don't know how the world will respond to you, how the world will take what you are offering. So you kind of take your time. You take a while before you choose to share this, before you make this into your profession, your career, your line of work. I could even assimilate this to a relationship. Let's say you meet someone and you find that this someone is your person. This is the person you have been waiting for and are trying to call in, attract, or manifest. And so because you feel certain about this person, there's almost this hesitation to actually pursue this person in a romantic way, because it's like this feeling of you don't want to mess up, you know? So your way of holding on to your desire is by kind of not engaging with it so much or moving it along, because there is that fear. I'm even getting something like a suspicion that if you engage with it, you might mess with it and mess it up. It's like wanting to keep something a secret, wanting to keep it to yourself because you don't want for it to be ruined. But with the Seven of Wands being here, I do see you releasing control at some point. The Four of Pentacles also makes me think of stability and security. So I do feel like you'll reach this point where you feel safe enough to start loosening the hold on this thing. So the visual that just came to mind is like two people are in a pool. One of them has experienced swimming and the other one doesn't. And so the one that doesn't clings on to the person that does because they fear that the moment they let go, they're going to sink and drown. But as time passes and as the person who has experienced swimming reassures the person that doesn't that they're going to be fine, that if they let go, they aren't going to sink, the person who doesn't know how to swim starts changing their mind about what will happen if they let go. And so they start trusting more. They realize that their feet does reach the bottom of the pool. They start realizing that they can stand on their feet. They start finding their balance in the water. And so as they start trusting more and more in their environment, feeling more and more safe, they slowly start releasing hold of the person who has experienced swimming until they have completely let go of them and find that they can stand on their own 2 feet in the swimming pool without sinking, without drowning. And that's when they start exploring the entire swimming pool while still knowing that the person who has experienced swimming is still there exploring with them. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Like, as time progresses, as you start realizing that this thing you have chosen is not going anywhere, you start trusting more and start releasing the hold of it. And it is then when you start releasing the hold, surrendering in a way, where you can start fully experiencing the beauty and wonder of what it is that you have chosen. So be it a relationship, be it a profession, a passion, a career path, or a new location, a new environment, whatever it may be, you start exploring it, you start enjoying it, you start working with it. Because there's this feeling also with the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands in reverse of working with something. Yeah, so I do see in this new beginning you finding something that you truly value. Yeah, and it could also be that in this new beginning you come to learn how to not depend on something, because I feel like the Four of Pentacles can also speak about codependency or unhealthy attachment styles. And so what I see in this new beginning is that, yeah, it's very similar to this Two of Wands and Nine of Swords in reverse energy. Like, you are learning to not depend on something outside of you to provide you with what it is that you need, whether it be happiness, whether it be stability, whether it be security, fulfillment. Like, you're learning to find that within yourself. And I feel like that is what is helping you release hold of whatever this precious thing to you may be. Because we often hold on to things in fear of losing them, because we believe that without them we'll end up losing more than we can handle, or because we have learned to depend on them. And so if we depend on something, of course we're gonna fear losing it. So what I'm seeing here is that you're letting go of the dependency on things that are external from you. Yeah, so if in the case of the Two of Wands, you have been waiting for something or someone to come in because you believe that that something or someone is going to change things completely for you, is going to bring in everything that you need, then in this new beginning, you're finding out that, yes, that the thing that you desire, you have been waiting for, will inspire much happiness and joy, but it is not the thing or the person itself that brings about the happiness and joy or the fulfillment. Yeah, because it could even be that once you come into alignment, or once you receive what it is that you have been waiting for or looking for, you find out that even though it gives some level of fulfillment and happiness, it's not everything you thought it would be. Like, it could be that even still having this, you find yourself feeling down sometimes, or you find yourself wondering if the grass is greener on the other side. Yeah, because with the lilies in reverse, that's the vibe I'm getting. It's like, did I make the right choice? Maybe if I had stuck with the path of the rose, it would have been better. So you realize that it's not the options that bring about the feeling of dissatisfaction, but it's more something going on within. You know, it could very well be this mindset or belief that the grass is always greener on the other side. And so once you realize this, that no matter what path you choose, there will always be that feeling of dissatisfaction. Then instead of seeking for something better, you take a time to pause and look into this mindset, look into this belief, and see where it's coming from. See if it's serving you. See if it's even true, or if you want to keep believing in it, if it's taking more from you than giving to you. And I do see a lot of you guys working through that, because again, the Seven of Wands speaks about surrendering. Yeah, so what I see happening with the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands in reverse is that you're letting go of the what ifs. What if I had stuck to the old path? Or what if I had chosen differently? What if I was there instead of here? Like, you're letting go of that because you're realizing that that isn't serving you. That is keeping you from fully enjoying something so precious to you. Because you do realize that what you are currently holding on to is precious, is something that means a lot to you, is something that is of value. And so I feel like there's kind of this moment where you're like, wait a minute, why am I questioning? Why am I wondering? Why am I kind of forcing myself to think that this isn't for me? If I know deep down that this is for me, that this is something that I enjoy, that this is something or someone I love. No, it's time to reevaluate my belief systems. Yeah, so I feel like in this new beginning, one must be very careful of whether or not they're falling back into old tendencies. Because I feel like if you choose to hold on to this like kind of mindset of the grass is always greener on the other side, or there's always something better out there, then you will always find yourself on the search. Nothing will ever feel enough. There will always be a reason to long for something more. And I mean, it's good to wonder what else is out there, because that encourages growth and change. But it's important to see to what extent. You know, is this creating more damage than good? And maybe there was that message of don't rush, take it slow, because you don't always have to be moving on to the next big thing. And, you know, if you give it some time, what you are currently holding on to, or what you are currently experiencing, can grow and can evolve and change into something more, or into that something more. But if you don't spend enough time with it, if you don't give it the time it needs to actually grow, then you'll never know, right? Because things don't grow and evolve overnight. Change is gradual. Yeah, so it's like also stick around long enough to see something mature, to see the change in something. Because change isn't found out there. Change is created, can be created anywhere you are. It's not something that you have to seek per se, if change is what you're looking for. Yeah, so I do feel this new beginning comes with its lessons, but I do feel like you are coming into alignment with something that is really precious to you and something that means a lot to you. And whatever this is, whether it be a path, whether it be a person, a pursuit, I do feel that this is something that is going to kind of remind you what it feels like to feel safe and secure. Because, like, for example, let's say if this is a passion, you'll find that no matter what challenges come about on this career path or profession, you still don't lose the passion or the excitement for that. You still feel eager to work on it, or to overcome the challenges, or to learn from the challenges. And I feel like that's the stability there, the stability or the certainty, like the certainty of knowing that this is your path, because you're choosing it every day, no matter what challenges and obstacles might arise. It's kind of this feeling of you can relax on the choice that you've made. You can relax and feel secure and safe to go at your pace, to explore. And I want to read the message that is on this lilies card. So you have the lilies forecast a happy life. So I am sensing a peaceful life here, but if there is any anxiety that might come in this new beginning, I feel it comes from this previous mindset. Because we literally have the Nine of Swords energy here. So it might come from believing that there's something better out there, or that nothing good ever lasts. Or it could even be something like you have to continuously be worrying about something or thinking about something in order to make sure that that something stays safe or persists, prevails. Yeah, and that comes from a false belief of control. It's like this illusion of the more we think about something, the more control we have over it. And so if you resonate with that, I feel like in this new beginning, you're releasing and letting go of this belief, because it's all an illusion. Thinking about something or worrying about something does not indicate that we have control over it or that we're keeping it safe. It just means that we're unnecessarily stressing ourselves out about this whole thing. Yeah, so I do see you kind of releasing control, surrendering to the unfoldment of things. Maybe even embracing a little bit of uncertainty, because as much as we want to be fully prepared, as much as we want to know everything that is going to happen, whether something is going to last forever or last a long time, we can't really know. We can't, because life is full of the unexpected. It's not about fighting the unknown or preparing for the unknown, but it's more about embracing it, understanding that anything and everything can happen at any given moment. And so we can't always be waiting and anticipating what is to come, because all that will do is distract us from what is right now. But I want to pull out a card now to find out what the transition from this ending to this new beginning will be like. What will you be experiencing in this transition phase? So we have Earth Mother and we have Time. So the Time card always reminds me of divine timing. Yeah, so with Earth Mother, I feel like you will know you are transitioning from this ending to this new beginning when you don't feel in a rush to know what's next or what is coming or what is happening behind the scenes. Yeah, especially if you are currently trying to guess at possible future outcomes. For example, if you're looking at a lot of pick a card readings to know what is going to be happening 3 months from now, or what new person is coming into your life, and so forth. Yeah, if you're in that kind of energy, this may be indicating that you have yet to experience this ending, because in this transition phase, I don't see you worrying about the future so much. Because Earth Mother makes me think of being in the present, feeling grounded, being in the moment. There's also something about paying attention to the signs and the synchronicities, like allowing yourself to be present enough where you are able to observe the signs that the universe is sending your way, or where you are better able to identify opportunities, good opportunities, to create positive changes in your life, or to take that next step forward. Yeah, because Earth Mother also reminds me of the Empress in Tarot. Yeah, and the Empress is all about creation. It's creative energy. And I did mention how if ideas come to you to write them down, and then the Earth Mother, we literally have flowers sprouting out of her neck. And this makes me think of you having beautiful ideas. Yeah, so I feel like in this transition period, a lot of beautiful creative ideas are going to come to you. You're going to feel very, very inspired. We have so much imagery of flowers here, so I do feel like flowers are an important symbol for you guys, or I was gonna say element, but it could be the way that you connect with Mother Gaia, or it could be how your higher self shows up for you in this physical 3D or connects with you. Maybe your higher self connects with you through flowers. And I do believe like each flower has a different vibrational or energy frequency, so some of you could actually be working with flowers, or you could be called to work with the elements or work with Mother Gaia in some way. There's something about flowers. It could be that during this transition phase, you might feel called to surround yourself with flowers, or to maybe spend more time out in nature, or to do some gardening, or learn about flowers, like their meaning or their medicinal purposes. Yeah, but also with the Earth Mother, I do see you feeling quite in tune with your feminine energy, and that's that receptive mode, being in the receptive mode, allowing yourself to receive. And I feel like this is speaking mostly about you receiving messages from the universe, you feeling very connected with the divine, with source. And I feel like it is by you feeling connected with your inner being, with source, with the divine, with universe, that you don't feel like you need to rush things or be on the go all the time. Because there's this feeling with these two cards of, when it's time to take action, I will know. I will know because I will feel inspired to do so. I was also going to say with Earth Mother that I feel that during this transition phase, you are going to feel very connected and in tune with your physical body. You could feel inspired to, to take it slow because you're being more mindful of your health, of your physical well-being, also of your mental health. You could be more mindful of not taking on too much, not biting more than you can chew, not overworking yourself. You could be more mindful of your sleeping patterns, your sleeping habits, making sure that you're getting enough hours of sleep, and that not just that, but restful sleep. You could also be more mindful of what you're consuming, like eating healthier. This is not speaking about diet, more so about eating healthy, like recognizing what foods do your body good and what foods don't. Yeah, I see you feeling very in tuned and connected with your physical body, like knowing what your physical body needs. Yeah, so I also see you being very self-aware, not self-conscious, but self-aware. The other thing that just came to mind is maturing gracefully. I don't know what that means exactly. That's what came to mind. Yeah, so I just see you feeling and being very healthy. For those of you who have struggle with like body image or eating habits, in this transition, I do see you coming to a place in which you are more accepting of your physical vessel, where you're in a good place with your body and how you perceive your physical body and how you perceive yourself. You're also in a good place when it comes to the relationship between you and food, because this energy here feels so healthy. Like you're feeling good in your body, you're feeling good about your choices, you're feeling good about your pace. And the other thing I'm sensing is that not only will you be feeling good and healthy physically and mentally, but also energy-wise. Like your energy is going to feel a lot healthier, a lot lighter. It almost feels like you're one with nature. So the other thing I'm getting here is that some of you could venture into sustainable living or having a sustainable lifestyle. And with time being here, I feel like the less you concern yourself about time, the faster this new beginning will come in. So it's like you're living your life, you're having a good time, and then the moment you least expected, you're in this new beginning. So I also feel like this transition is going to be quite smooth. You're going to gracefully enter into this new beginning. Some of you could be called to work with the phases of the moon. If you are of the female sex, you could be finding that your menstrual cycle aligns with the moon cycle, or that there is some correlation. Some of you could also work with the moon phases to manifest and or to release. I will say this, I'm getting kind of a bit of like witchy vibes with these two cards. But I don't know if there's like different labels or category to witches, but what is coming to mind here is like an earth witch. Like someone that works with the elements, someone that works with nature, also with feminine energy. Because we do have like this bouquet of flowers as this Earth Mother's head, I also see that your skin will be looking super healthy during this time. You will have a glow to you. I also get this feeling of being super magnetic. So you might find that a lot of people are like turning your way. You might also find that people are super comfortable. Not only people, animals. Like living beings in general, they're super comfortable when they are around you. And it's because you do have this very safe and nurturing aura. You do provide a safe space. Yeah, but I feel like primarily what you will experience through this transition phase is a period where you're feeling very, very healthy. And you are looking healthy and you are quite healthy. Mind, body, and soul. Or you feeling quite healthy could be indicating that you are living a very healthy life or a healthy lifestyle. So you are not surrounding yourself with any stressors, or you're not doing anything that is negatively affecting your health in any way. Yeah, with time I'm also picking up on if there's something that needs to be improved, you're not worrying about the fact that there needs to be improvement, but you're feeling reassured in the knowing that it can be improved. And it can be improved over time. And I feel like these two cards are indicating that whatever needs improvement, whatever needs attention, you are attending to it. You are taking the steps to create that betterment. But now I'm going to pull out a card to find out what is it that you can look forward to in this new beginning. And we have the divine. Aww. It's funny how I mentioned divine timing and then we literally have divine time. Something you can look forward to in this new beginning is you no longer feeling like you need to hold on or have control of every little thing, of things that are out of your control. And I feel like that's relieving you of a lot of stress and or burdens that you have been carrying. The divine also makes me think of trust. So in this new beginning, I see you trusting in yourself a lot more. If you guys struggle with feeling safe within yourself, yeah, I feel like that's what is changing in this new beginning. That you are feeling more safe within yourself. The divine also makes me think of you feeling very connected with your inner being, your higher self, with your divinity, whatever that might mean to you, as well as with, source, universe. Yeah, I sense that you guys will feel like there is a higher power working with you and looking over and after you. I also feel like in this new beginning, you are going to be getting a lot of reassurance from the divine, from spirit, from universe. You could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities or things just coming into perfect alignment for you, like you being at the right place at the right time. There's this feeling with the divine of no longer believing in coincidences. Like knowing that everything has a purpose and a reason. Yeah, but with this waterfall being here, I definitely see you releasing control, feeling more in the flow. And because we have literally a waterfall as this divine being's hair, I also feel this is speaking about you freeing your mind from anxious thoughts. Yeah, because waterfall, it's ever flowing. So it's like whatever thoughts come to you, you don't hold on to them longer than necessary. So if you're someone who struggles with letting go even of thoughts, yeah, I see you not struggling with this so much in this new beginning. Like recognizing that a thought is just a thought. It doesn't necessarily mean anything unless you want it to mean something, unless you want to give it importance. I'm just sensing a very peaceful time for you guys. One where you're very much in alignment with your higher self, or you are embodying your higher self. The divine often makes me think of one's higher self. Also, the divine is indicating that in this new beginning, you will be pursuing your current calling, or you will be on your divine path, whatever that may mean to you personally. Also, in this new beginning, you will be heavily assisted by the divine. So you could be working with spirit very, very closely in this new beginning. And again, we have all this imagery of nature. So you could be finding that you have a really strong connection with Mother Gaia, or you will be creating a stronger, deeper connection with Mother Gaia or with nature. Some of you could be pursuing a line of work or profession that requires for you to work with nature or Mother Gaia. Or you could be finding that that's your passion, helping nature or working with the elements. If you live in the city, you could be relocating to a place where there's a lot of nature, like the countryside or up in the mountains. Yeah, and I keep picking up on a very simplistic, almost idyllic lifestyle. What just came to mind is no longer stressing yourself about how you look or what you're going to wear or what other people are going to think of you. It's just, instead you are enjoying taking care of yourself. Instead, you are enjoying interacting and connecting with others. Like what used to stress you out, now you find enjoyment in it. Like an example that is coming to mind is someone who stresses about working out or exercising or stretching their body because they see it as an obligation. They see it as something that is expected of them, something that they should be doing instead of something that they want to do. And so in this new beginning, what is happening is that they're exercising their body, they're doing physical exercise, not because they are expected to or they have that pressure from society, but rather because they want to, because they see and feel that it does them good and they enjoy it. So it's like what used to stress you out or bring you a lot of anxiety, now it doesn't, because you are approaching it differently in a more healthy and enjoyable and productive way. So it could even be that the environment you are in this new beginning helps with you seeing things differently and approaching things differently, because it offers or provides a safe space for you to explore what works for you or for you to be yourself. Yeah, so I do see some of you guys relocating or moving or traveling. And I don't want this to come off as you need to move or relocate in order for you to experience these changes. Because again, remember, there was that message that it's not the external that brings about the fulfillment or the happiness. You can create positive changes wherever you are at. But it could be that if you do end up moving, the environment will facilitate this change in perspective or in approach. Okay, but now I want to pull out some numbers to get some important time frames or dates. So we have the number 6, the number 11, okay, and the number 5. And I feel like pulling out one more. Okay, yeah. And the number 0. Okay, so the month of May, June, and November could be important months for you guys, or an important window of time that I'm seeing here could be from May to November, or from May to June, or from June to November. It could be when you will be experiencing this ending, this transition, or this new beginning. But with the number 0, well, honestly, I feel like this was Spirit's way of letting me know, like, no more numbers. These 3 numbers that we have just pulled out are the ones for you. But I always interpret the number 0 as a number that indicates infinite potential. And it also makes me think of like divine timing. Like there's no set date or time frame. So this is just a reminder, I feel, from Spirit that yeah, anything can happen at any given moment. So you don't always have to wait for change to happen, because you can very well create the changes that you seek. Yeah, so you don't always have to be waiting for universe to give you a green light to go for the things that you want. You can go for it, or to present opportunities for you, because you can create the opportunities yourself. Yeah, these could also be your birth months, or the birth months of someone who will be playing a significant role in your life, who is or will be playing a significant role in your life. Okay, but now I want to pull out some extra oracle cards to get advice and or guidance from the animal realm or your spirit animals that may assist you as you're going through each one of these phases or stages. So I will first pull out some advice and guidance that might assist you as you are going through this ending. So we have the polar bear with camouflage and the message. In the presence of polar bear, we are reminded that blending in can be as useful and courageous as standing out. Like its winter, in deep silent contemplation, we are able to achieve new insight. By standing back and observing, we are able to ready ourselves to share our most powerful gifts. With polar bear's tact, we learn to cloak ourselves in shadow. waiting for the right moment to emerge. He imparts patience, teaching us to employ strategy to carry on. Yeah, so the polar bear might be a spirit animal who will be working very closely with you as you are going through this ending. So if you start seeing polar bears, be it, I don't know, in real life, in your dreams, or in images, that could be an indicator that you are about to experience this ending or you are already going through this ending. What really stood out to me from the message on this polar bear card was the season winter. So winter season could be of significance for you guys. Could be when you will be experiencing this ending. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out a card or a message that might assist you as you're going through this transition period. Okay, so we have the moose, or the stag, my bad, with vitality and the message, a creature of great spiritual significance. Stag evokes images of Celtic lore and medieval quests. With high moral principles, his noble attendance encourages us to travel the high road when in the presence of individuals who treat us unfairly. A symbol of vitality, stag empowers us and connects us. He symbolizes life, the energy within us, and the opportunities that lie beyond. With stag as our guide, we are offered leave to nourish and cultivate our life's work. I really got excited when I read Celtic lore, because Celtic lore has a lot of like nature in it, or representations of nature. And I was mentioning how I felt that you will be connecting with nature a lot, or feel very connected to nature. And one of the things I was sensing when looking at the divine was fae magic or fae energy. So if you guys believe in fairies or fae, you could be working with fairies in this new beginning or during this transition period, or you could be exposed to or opened up to that realm. Because I was going to say that you guys were giving me like fairy vibes. So you might identify as a fairy or a fae, or feel that affinity to fairies. Maybe people have told you that you remind them of a fairy, or you're very ethereal like, or it could be that in this new beginning or even during this transition period, you're gonna get a lot of comments like that. Like there's something very ethereal, there's something very fairy-like about you. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out a message, advice, or guidance that may assist you as you are entering this new beginning. Ooh. And we have the Eagle, which is a card that also fell out for group 3. With reverence and the message, in his swiftness, flight, and courage, Eagle sets the example of rising above. With his keen sight, he sees both the prevailing patterns of the ground below and the majestic views before him. Soaring in silence, he finds his orientation in the distance. Equipped with a solemn reverence for pledges, he explores higher truths, greater powers, and commitment to one's word. Leading with purpose, Eagle invites us to consider the importance of respect, reciprocity, and community. With freedom comes responsibility. Okay, so these are all the messages I am seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements. I truly do appreciate it, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this growing channel. Yeah, and I am wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you're watching this video. And until the next moment, bye bye. you guys who chose the California pepper tree seeds, I believe. Anyways, before I start shuffling the decks and pulling out cards, I would like to share with you what I intuitively picked up on when connecting with the energy of your group. So there was a heads up that you will soon be visited by either your spirit guides or ancestors or loved ones who have passed on, who are currently on the other side. And they will be coming to you to deliver a message to you. So you could be having what is known as a visitation dream, where in your dreams you are visited by an entity or a light being, a being of light, like a spirit guide or a loved one who has passed on. Or you could be connecting with a spirit guide or a loved one who is on the other side, or even an angel, an angelic being, whilst you're meditating. Or it could even be that you will be having some kind of experience where you might be seeing these light beings with your physical eyes, or where you will have felt or will know with certainty that you have been visited by a being of light or by someone who has passed on. And the other thing I sensed was that if you aren't already, you will soon be working through something that pertains to the heart space. So that could be a heartache, a heartbreak, or it could be working through resistance, like resistance to receiving affection or to love, forgiveness, and so forth. Yeah, so I do feel that in your new beginning, or right before entering your new beginning, you will be experiencing either a heart chakra activation or a heart chakra clearing. And that will result in you feeling more heart-centered. And the message that just came to mind is feeling more susceptible to love. Interesting. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the cards. So we are first going to find out what is it that is ending or coming to an end. And then we are going to take a look at what new beginning this ending is giving way to. Okay, so let's see. What is it that is coming to an end for group 2? Okay, so we have the Fool in reverse. And to clarify, we have the Ace of Swords, number 37, with the rapiers. Okay, so it's interesting that we have two cards that indicate new beginnings, but one of the cards is in reverse. Okay, so I feel I can interpret these two cards in more than one way. So please bear with me as I go through these different interpretations. So the Fool, when it is upright, indicates taking leaps of faith. It's a card that denotes faith and optimism, childlike wonder. So it being in reverse, it's kind of giving me a vibe of either lacking faith or being very wary of trying new things or going for the things that you want. Just being very wary of things in general. It's interesting how I spoke about the heart space at the beginning, because I feel like the Fool, when it is upright, it is very heart driven. This is an energy that follows their inner compass. They don't second guess or try to think logically about things. If they feel something is for them, they go for it. If they feel something is right, they don't question it. They are also very receptive to being led by the universe. So it being in reverse, it's the complete opposite, especially with the Eight of Swords, because swords is all about the mind, the intellect, logic. And then we have these two swords here, making this cross, which is kind of reminding me of the Two of Swords in Tarot, which talks about indecisiveness, feeling like you are lacking clarity, or it can even speak about stagnation or blockages. So I feel that for some of you guys, what is ending is a period of hesitation and wariness. And what I'm sensing in specific is a period of second guessing yourself, or second guessing everything that appeals or calls to you. Because the vibe I'm getting from these two cards is constantly reasoning out things. Like finding reasons why not to do something. Why not to take that leap of faith? Why not to make that change? Why not to try something out or venture into something new? And it's like, instead of your logic or your logical thinking assisting you in making productive changes or in moving forward, what it's doing is that it's holding you back. And it's because you are using your logic to validate your feelings of uncertainty. You are using your logic, your reasoning, to encourage and or support excuses made out of fear. So with the Fool having showed up in your spread, even if it showed up in reverse, I do get the feeling that you guys have been presented with several opportunities to create new beginnings, opportunities to pursue that which you truly want and are calls to you. But every time a new opportunity is presented to you, or almost every time, you find an excuse or a reason why not to go for it. So it's like opportunities keep presenting themselves to you, but it's like you keep rejecting them. You keep rejecting them, rejecting them, rejecting them. And so you are in this constant state of being at the end of something, but not really stepping into any new beginning. Because every door that is presented to you that will allow for you to step into that new beginning, you turn away from it with some reason or excuse you come up with, or that your mind, your logic helps you to come up with. And I mean, by all means, the reasons you come up with could be very valid. They could be really good reasons, but you know, the Fool is all about chances, taking a chance. It's knowing what the risks are, but then still choosing to kind of take that risk because the risk is worth it. Yeah, because the Fool is the 0 card of the deck, and I always interpret the number 0 as infinite potential. Like with the number 0, there are no labels. There is nothing that defines and or limits whoever is carrying the number 0. It's like at this point of the journey, anything is possible. You write your own story. You choose what direction the next chapter of your life is going to take. And we literally have an eagle here on this, I don't know what animal this is. This capybara. I had to look it up. And the eagle is all about freedom, independence, liberty. So I am interpreting the Fool as a freedom of choice, a freedom to choose how you want to live your life and what direction you want to take your life in. Oh, by the way, some of you guys might have like a white doggy or a white furry animal companion, and if so, know that this animal companion of yours is a spirit guide of yours. Yeah, you might also feel a strong connection with capybaras or eagles. They might be a spirit animal of yours as well. Yeah, but I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, what I see ending for some of you guys is this hesitation to take leaps of faith, to take chances. And if you feel like your mind has been stopping you from doing a lot of the things that you want, be it because of limited beliefs, be it because of negative self-talk, your inner critic putting you down, giving you reasons why you're not good enough for something or why something won't work out, I do see you freeing yourself from the clutches of your inner critic or of this inner judgment or of these limited beliefs or negative self-talk. And if you feel like your mind has been holding you back for other reasons, like anxiety or depression, OCD, or any other kind of diagnostic disability illnesses, you will find a way to manage or work with these diagnostics, disabilities, or illnesses. It's this feeling of, yes, I have this diagnostic, but that doesn't mean that I have to stop living my life to the best of my capabilities. That doesn't mean that I can go out there and do some of the things that I want to do. So I see you finding a way to do some of the things that you want to do, or continue doing some of the things that you want to continue doing. Yeah, because I don't know why, I just looked at this image here and I saw the doggy and it reminded me of a service animal, or it made me think of assistance, of support. You know, this capybara is not on their own. They do have a companion by their side to go on this adventure with. So yeah, I feel like you are coming out of a period that felt very limiting or limited. And it could have been by the mind, or it could have been by some external factors or other factors. And I don't know, I got a little bit emotional right now, but looking at the capybara, I felt, or I sensed, this immense strength and inner strength. The message that just came to mind looking at the capybara is, I am doing it. I am doing it and I can do it. Or I am already doing it. And the Fool does speak about taking leaps of faith, but it being in reverse. I feel like it's a reassurance that it's okay to take it one step at a time. Because now going into the second interpretation is that it could be that there was a period in which there was no slowing down. There was no thinking things through. There was just a lot of go, go, go and trying the next thing and taking lots and lots of leaps of faith, or just more so going into things blindly. Because the Fool in reverse can speak about recklessness, carelessness, and irrationality. And because we do have the Ace of Swords here, which represents mental clarity, planning and logic, and critical thinking as well, I do get this feeling of being in a period where you weren't really sure where you were going or why you were doing the things that you were doing. I'm getting this feeling of taking action for the sake of taking action, but there being no real reason or meaning behind the action. And I will be honest, I feel that for some, this could have been a bit self-destructive, or it could have been a way to numb a pain that you were feeling. You know, it's like, if I'm always moving, if I'm always on the go, 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 if I'm always in action, then I don't have any time to think or feel anything. I become sort of numb to what is going on within. Or if not that, this could have been something like, you know, if I try everything out, then maybe I'll hit the jackpot in something. Maybe something will click. And so it's like there wasn't really a moment to process what was going on, or to really sit down and go within to ask yourself, hey, is this really what I want to be doing? Is this really something I want to hit the jackpot with? Or is this me trying to distract myself from the real work, you know, from the critical thinking? You know, because I'm not saying it's bad to try out new things, to put on different hats and see which one fits. Like, that's okay. But it's important that we evaluate, you know, like if something didn't work out, to take the time and see why it didn't work out. Or what did we and did we not like about something that we just tried out or experienced, in order to gain more information and clarity, because that's what the Ace of Swords is all about. It's clarity. The Ace of Swords also speaks about aha moments, epiphanies. So it's like the answer won't come to you, it won't be delivered to you. It has to come from within you. And if you're running away from doing the homework, then that clarity, it's going to feel like it's never coming. So it's like doing your research. Some of you guys might have been avoiding doing your research or doing the inner work. And that led to a lot of impulsivity, or starting things and never finishing them or seeing them through. Or this could have led to a lot of dead ends, or ideas that never really got off the ground, or projects or business ventures that fell through. Because there wasn't really, at least that's what I'm getting from these two cards, that there wasn't really some time to really sit down and plan, plan the business ventures, to break it down into steps, to build really sturdy foundations. Instead, there was a lot of rushing into things, making big investments without researching what you are investing in, or starting projects that you weren't really passionate about. And so somewhere midway the project, you lost interest and dropped it. Or if there was a minor inconvenience, you took that as a sign that maybe this wasn't it. And because there was already that lack of passion, you didn't feel inspired or motivated to push through that inconvenience or overcome that challenge. I have already done the reading for group 1 and 3, and I am noticing that all of the groups have a similar message. So I feel we're entering a time in which we are releasing ourselves of limitations or limited beliefs, or letting go of excuses, even a victim mentality. Because a victim mentality is often not encouraged because it perpetuates this idea or belief that we are powerless. And believing and our feeling that we are powerless keeps us stuck. So if we are going through something difficult or something that feels limiting, it's okay to accept it, to acknowledge it, but we must be careful to not become a victim to it, or more specifically, a prisoner to it. I haven't experienced much in this lifetime, so I can't say this with 100% certainty, but I'd like to believe that there is a way through everything. We just need to be determined and willing to find the way. And what I see happening here is that you guys are reaching a point in which you are wanting to find a way through something that has been limiting you or holding you back or keeping you from stepping into your new beginning, because I feel like you guys are ready. You have been ready. So for some, what is coming to an end is you feeling or being a prisoner or a victim of your mind or your way of thinking. And for others of you, what is coming to an end is this lack of clarity. But more so, it's running away from this clarity. What I'm sensing with these two cards for some is a desire to get a bit serious about your next step. Instead of just rushing into the next thing, it's taking the time to really think about it. Like, okay, after all I've been through, after all I've experienced, what do I know about my next step? Yeah, so this period of just rushing into things or jumping into things blindly is ending. This lack of clarity or even uncertainty is ending. Or this feeling of being at the start of something but not really is ending for you guys. Because I feel like for the vast majority, that's kind of the vibe you've been in or what you've been feeling. Like you're at the start of something, but then nothing really happens. Or something is starting, something is commencing, but then it doesn't really take off. And it leaves you feeling a bit confused, maybe a bit discouraged. But what I'm mostly sensing is like confusion. Like, I thought this was it, but why didn't it turn out to be it? Or it could be something like, when is the right opportunity going to come along? When am I ever going to feel that push, that drive to take that leap of faith? Because some of you could even have this belief that when the right thing comes along, you'll know. You'll know because you won't hesitate on taking that leap of faith, taking a chance. And so it's like you're kind of waiting for that to happen. And it hasn't happened yet. But what I feel with these two cards is that you have felt that nudge more than once. But either you ignored it or you reasoned your way out of it. Or these two cards could be indicating that the universe isn't going to push you off the cliff. You know, the universe isn't going to do that for you because they realize that this is your lesson. The lesson here is for you to push yourself. The universe is saying, we can support you, we can guide you, we can offer you assistance, but it's always up to you. They want for you to realize that you have the freedom of choice, that it's up to you. This is your life and you're the creator of your own reality. So if you wait for permission, if you wait for someone to take the necessary steps for you, you could be waiting a while. And I feel like you're not only being supported by the universe, I also feel like you have people around you who are on your side and by your side, who are willing to walk with you on whatever path you choose to take. Like they'll be there for you, supporting you and cheering you on. But universe wants for you to know that like support isn't about taking you by the hand and guiding you. It's more so being there beside you as you are learning the lessons, as you are growing. You know, just like this puppy who's right next to this capybara. And look how excited this puppy is. It's like they're just excited to be there right beside you, supporting you and cheering you on. It's like every step you take, no matter how small or big you perceive this step to be, is a step worth applauding. Yeah, I also feel like there's no pressure. I don't feel any pressure coming from the universe or any pressure coming from people around you. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I'm not sensing it with this energy. Maybe you are putting pressure on yourself if you are feeling pressure. But Spirit is saying there's no pressure. We are celebrating every step that you are taking because we know that every step that you take, it's a step worth taking, and it's also a step that took a lot. Universe realizes your efforts. They acknowledge it. They see it. And so that's why they applaud you. They applaud you for your efforts. But they are encouraging you to believe in yourself more and to really take the time to get to know yourself, know your limits, because we all have limits and our limits are going to change at every given moment. They aren't always going to look the same. It all depends on where we're at, what we're going through, our mental, physical state. It all depends, and it will vary and it will fluctuate. And it's okay to acknowledge that. So it's important to know your limits at any given state. And it's also important to know your strengths, because you do have strengths. And by knowing these two, you can find a way to work with them in order to challenge yourself in some healthy way. Because honestly, I feel like we go nowhere if we don't challenge ourselves. And challenging ourselves is not about pushing ourselves to the limit or asking the impossible from ourselves. It's more so little by little getting ourselves of whatever comfort zone that we are in. Asking ourselves to look a bit deeper within, see what else is in there. Pull out a new aspect of ourselves. Discover new things about ourselves. Things we want to improve upon, things we want to see more of, things that we are curious about, things we want to learn. The message that just came to mind is don't rush to become. Rather, take the time to know yourself. Because who you are right now is already so intricate, so mysterious, so worth getting to know. Okay, but now I'm going to look into what new beginning this ending is giving way to. And we have, wow, the High Priestess. And to clarify, We have the Two of Pentacles, number 18, with the lady. This just came to mind. I don't know why, but it came to mind very strongly when looking at the number 18. Some of you could be turning 18, and if so, you could very well be experiencing this new beginning when you turn 18 or after you turn 18. But, because I mentioned the number 18, I do feel called to mention the number 37. Some of you could be turning 37 as well. And if so, you could be experiencing this ending once you turn 37 or when you are 37 years of age. Yeah, that doesn't have to be the case for everyone, because I know not everyone is going to be turning 18 or 37. That's just for those who this resonates with. The other thing that is standing out to me is that we have repeated twos. The High Priestess is the second major arcana of the deck, and then we have the Two of Pentacles. So the number 2 or 22 or repeated twos could be of significance. It could be that when you are about to step into this new beginning, you will be seeing a lot of twos or repeated twos. And that will be your indicator that you are about to step into this new beginning, or that everything is coming into alignment. Yeah, because the number 2 makes me think of balance. Like everything is coming into perfect harmony. And not only in your outer reality, but I also feel like this is indicating perfect harmony occurring within, because we do have the High Priestess here. So in this new beginning, I see you being extremely self-aware. And it's so interesting how I was talking about, knowing yourself or getting to know yourself, because I feel like the High Priestess is someone who really knows themselves. Like they are truly tapped in with their inner world, with their subconscious. So this is a card that denotes knowledge, inner wisdom. So in this new beginning, I see you obtaining and are having the clarity that we were speaking about with the Ace of Swords. The High Priestess also gives me the vibe of having mastered the mind, because the High Priestess is on a whole other level. She's not chained to any physical limitations or societal norms and beliefs. So for those of you who have been on the journey to finding out what, let's say, your calling is, or what the next step is, I do see you finding or figuring out what your calling is before this new beginning commences. Because I feel like this new beginning is about you pursuing your calling. And honestly, the High Priestess is giving me this vibe of being free of needing to choose. Because I feel like in this ending, there was a dilemma about finding the right path, or always kind of hesitating to take a step forward or try something new. But with the High Priestess, it's like there's no more pressure to do something, or to have it all figured out, or to choose one specific path. And then we do have the Two of Pentacles, which speaks about balancing out two things or juggling two things. So I feel like in this new beginning, you guys, it's not like you're necessarily choosing something, but it's more like you're paving your own way. What you are meant to be doing right now is something that you will create from scratch. It's not something that is already out there and you just need to integrate yourself in it and start from there. It's more so that you have to create it. Yeah, and that's the vibe I get with the High Priestess. It's like you're paving your own path, where maybe you are pursuing more than one thing, or you're fusing two or various different things, creating something very unique, something of your own. Yeah, because with this lady, we even have the lady here. It feels very personal to me. It feels like something that is only for you, or is coming from you, directly from you. So this could be speaking about you creating a business, or a new genre. The word field, like a new work field, came to mind, like something new entirely. But in order for you to start paving your own way, it does require for you to take some type of risk, some type of leap of faith. Because the High Priestess also represents the unknown. It's a card of mystery. And since we are talking about, paving your own way, creating something from scratch, something that has yet to be created, then there is a lot of uncertainty on this path. There's not a manual. There's no clear directions. It's just you venturing into something utterly new, into the unknown. So it will require for you to take some kind of risks. But it's not just about risks. It's also about taking the time to really process the ideas that are coming to you, really stay committed to anything that you are choosing to focus on and start working on. Because the High Priestess is also super dedicated to her path. I mean, the High Priestess is the bridge between the spiritual and the physical, so she does have an immense responsibility that she takes seriously, I believe, or I feel. And yeah, we have the Two of Pentacles here. So I feel like this is also speaking about, kind of like balancing out the mystical and the practical, the spiritual and the physical, the heart and the mind. This new beginning that you're entering into is one where you're not ignoring the heart or you're ignoring the mind. You're finding a way to work with both. So with the High Priestess being here, I feel like in this new beginning, you guys are going to be super tapped into your psychic abilities, tapped into spirit, tapped into source, the universe. But I also feel like not only will you be receiving guidance from the spirit realm or from universe, but you will also be needing to find a practical way to integrate the information you are receiving into the physical. Like finding ways to apply the information you are receiving from the universe to this physical 3D reality. Yeah, because I'm even getting something like someone is super spiritual, very tapped in, but they still have to be part of this physical 3D, They still have to live their human lives. So it's like balancing the two out. How can I integrate my spiritual practice into my everyday, my day-to-day? How can I live a spiritual life while still practicing being human or embracing my humanity or humanness? So actually from this to this, it feels like a huge leap. And I'm noticing what really stood out to me was the fact that we have the number 0 here and then the number 2. Like these cards are so close together, but the only card in between them is the Magician. But we skipped the Magician. We went right into the High Priestess. So I feel like you guys, like I said, I feel you have been at the precipice of an ending, ready to start this new beginning for quite a while. But something has been delaying it. And it could be one of the many things that we spoke about when interpreting this ending. But I feel like once you push through this or overcome this, you take a huge leap. Like instead of moving to level 1, you move directly onto level 2, the High Priestess. So it sort of feels like taking a quantum leap or jumping timelines or going through an immense awakening. Like your soul had been ready to take this leap for some time now, but maybe it was the mind that was holding you back. Maybe it was the ego that was holding you back. So in this new beginning, I don't just see you entering a new beginning, I see you entering a new era. One where you are feeling much more balanced. Your life is much more balanced. You are dedicating yourself to something that you believe in and are passionate about. And you feel very much in alignment with, I don't want to say your purpose, but if you adhere to that whole concept, then it could be feeling aligned with your purpose. But I most so see you feeling aligned with your inner self, with your authentic self, or with your higher self. And I see you feeling very connected with your intuition, where you're making decisions based on your inner knowing, your experience, your intuition, your knowledge of things. I do feel that in this new beginning, you are going to feel very connected with your spirituality, or you could be pursuing a spiritual path. Some of you could be delving into divination if you aren't already practicing that. And you could be helping others connect with their own psychic abilities or tap into their own psychic awareness. Yeah, but I'm also seeing that in this new beginning, there's no more downplaying yourself, playing small, or making excuses why not to be in your power and or to shine your light. Because honestly, I feel like for some of you guys, you already know what it is that you want to do or what you are being called to do. But for some reason, you keep hesitating. You keep finding reasons why not to do it. And these reasons feel more like excuses. This feels like forgetting or not being able to recall who you are. And then in the High Priestess, this is you remembering, recalling who it is that you are. And then living your truth. Standing in your truth. Embodying who it is that you truly are. And moving forward from there. Yeah, but now I want to pull out a card to get information about what you will experience as you are transitioning from this ending to this new beginning. So we have Seasons in reverse. So when the Seasons card shows up upright, to me, it indicates the ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. So it's showing up in reverse. I am sensing a bit of resistance. It feels a bit like being in a limbo. Very, very much like the Fool card in reverse. Like you're at the end of something, but you have yet to step into that new beginning. Let me pull out a clarifier. We have intuition. Yeah, okay. The High Priestess is all about trusting in your intuition. You know, being tapped in. So, you guys are already the High Priestess. It's just about you recognizing that you are this High Priestess. You guys are already super intuitive, very, very psychic, very self-aware. You do have that self-awareness. You are a conscious being, but I feel you have a hard time believing that you are all of this and more. And that's what keeps you, stuck in a way. Because it's like you are staring yourself right in the face, but you keep denying yourself. You keep saying that this isn't you. And so it's kind of difficult to stand in your power if there is self-denial. Actually, I feel like this is more advice and guidance that for you to step into this new beginning, what is required of you is to trust in yourself or to take some time to connect with your intuition, to listen to your intuition, to your inner guidance. Because I feel like the change that you seek isn't going to happen for you. It has to come from within you. As mentioned previously, universe isn't going to push you off this cliff. It's kind of reminding me of people who bungee jump. Some people throw themselves. Some people just go for it. And other people need for someone to push them. And it's like, you're already there. You're standing on the cliff. The fact that you're standing on this cliff says a lot. A lot of people can't even make it to the edge of the cliff because that's too scary for them. But you are already there. You have been there for quite some time. So if you had the courage to make it all the way here, you have it in you to take that leap of faith, to create that change, to listen to your intuition, to follow your inner guidance, to believe in yourself, trusting yourself. No, I'm noticing how this bear in the intuition card is looking towards the capybara. It's like this bear is asking the capybara to trust in them. Like, I will be the bridge to this new beginning. Like I said, I feel like some of you guys already know what you're being called to do. You could already know what you're good at, or you could already know what you are passionate about. But maybe what is happening is that you keep believing that you're not good enough to pursue this full on, or that you're lacking in some way, and that is what is holding you back. It's like you guys want to become the high priestess, but what you're not aware of is that you are already the high priestess. So it's not about becoming the high priestess, it's simply about allowing yourself to be who you already are. You are already who you want to be. It's just about you accepting yourself. So the changes that you seek are changes that will come from within, from you believing in yourself, trusting in yourself, taking the time to get to know yourself a little bit more. Not just your shadow aspects, not just those parts of you that you have trouble accepting, but those parts of you that maybe you fear taking a better look at because you realize that they say a lot of great things about you. Sometimes we even resist what we perceive to be good aspects about ourselves because we have a difficult time thinking highly of ourselves or thinking good about ourselves. So that might be the case for some of you guys. Yeah, and the Two of Pentacles is making me think of, looking at all of you, not just some parts of you, but paying attention to all of you, considering that you are the sum of all your parts. So you guys are intuitive, you guys are creative. The High Priestess also represents creativity, knowledge. So you guys are insightful, you are full of wisdom, and I feel like the majority of this wisdom comes from experience. So know that you have it in you to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish and more. But now I want to pull out a card to find out what it is that you can look forward to in this new beginning. So we have Father. So for those of you who are wanting to reconnect or reestablish or establish a connection with a father figure or a paternal figure, I do see this happening for you in this new beginning. But for whatever reason, I feel like Father is also talking about the divine or source. So I do see you establishing some connection or deepening your connection with your spirituality, with the divine. Father also makes me think of masculine energy, and masculine is all about action, being assertive. So I do see you being a lot more assertive in this new beginning. I do see you taking inspired action or action that leads to something. The Father card also reminds me of boundaries. So I do see that in this new beginning, you will be having stronger boundaries, or you will be knowing how to implement your boundaries, how to assert them. The Father is being represented by a stag, and stags are kind of the kings of the forest. So I also see you taking on a leadership role, or feeling very much like the leader of your own life. You could be leading others in this new beginning, or be serving as some form of guide or teacher. Because the stag is also the protector of all the creatures in the forest. So yeah, I do feel like you are going to be some form of guide or teacher or mentor to others or to a community. Some of you could be choosing to literally be the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, helping others connect with the spirit realm, or being a messenger where you are channeling messages from the divine, from spirit, to those who are here in the physical 3D. For those who this will resonate with, the Father card may be indicating that in this new beginning, you will be taking the role of a father or a parental figure. Yeah, and I'm noticing all this green here, and the green is a color that is associated with the heart chakra. And I did mention how in this new beginning, you would be feeling a lot more connected with your heart space, or you would have already gone through a heart activation. So I feel that is being confirmed with this Father card, with all this green showing up here. You will be feeling a lot more heart-centered, or a lot more connected to your heart space. So that also lets me know that you will be feeling a lot more connected with your intuition. And because the Father does represent divine masculine, and the High Priestess is known to represent the feminine, and then we do have the Two of Pentacles here, I do see in this new beginning a merge or inner union happening of the feminine and masculine energies that exist within all of us. Yeah, so with all this energy of the number 2, what I am seeing that you can look forward to in this new beginning is inner harmony, acquiring it and then maintaining it. The High Priestess is all about getting to know thyself. So I definitely do see you getting to know yourself, especially those parts of you that you have been denying, running away from, or ignoring in this new beginning, and integrating them, be it through acceptance or through understanding of them. But now I want to pull out some numbers to get any important dates or time frames. So we have the number 3, and we have the number 2. This made me think of the age 23, so I don't know why ages are coming through a lot for this group. It didn't happen with the other groups, but it could be that some of you guys are turning 23, and if so, maybe that's when you will be experiencing this ending or this new beginning, or you could be going through this transition. I do want to pull out, okay. So we have the number 8, and we have another 2. I knew there were going to be repeated 2s, because we had repeated 2s here with the card. Yeah, so the number 2 could be important, or the number 22, or repeated 2s. Yeah, so I feel like this is confirming that if you start seeing the number 2 a lot, 22, or repeated 2s, that is an indicator that you are about to step into this new beginning, or that you are already experiencing this new beginning. But the month of February, March, and or August could be important months. It could be when you will be going through this ending, experiencing this transition, or stepping into this new beginning. Also, the 22nd of one of these months, be it August, be it March, or even February, could be an important date. Also, the 18th of one of these months. Yeah, some of you could be, we have 37 and we have 38. Some of you could be turning 38, or the age 28 could be important for some of you guys, or 20, or 32, 23, or 82, 83. But now I want to pull out messages, advice, and or guidance from the animal realm that may assist you through each one of these stages. So I will first pull out message, advice, and or guidance that could assist you as you are going through this ending. Ooh, those are too many cards. Let me try again. So we have the raccoon, with exploration and the message, raccoon encourages us to consider the complexities of disguise. Hiding one's true character or feelings should not be viewed as inherently wrong. Sharing one's truth is a very personal matter. Exploring our imperfections and bathing in our frailty is hard. Adorning her mask, Raccoon encourages us to investigate our vulnerabilities and reveal them only when we are ready. Through her example, she offers protection, permitting fertile ground for spiritual cultivation and growth. So raccoon could be a spirit animal or power animal of yours that may be assisting you as you are going through this ending. If you start seeing raccoons a lot, be it in real life, be it in dreams, be it in images, that could be an indicator that you are about to experience this ending or that you are already experiencing this ending. But now I'm going to pull out some messages and or advice that may assist you as you are going through this transition. Okay, so we have the beaver with motivation and the message, beaver brings vision, creativity, and action to our lives. She encourages us to take inventory of our resources and work in harmony with others to achieve common goals. When beaver arrives, it is time to work. Excuses are indefensible. Like water under the bridge, she prompts us to relinquish extraneous baggage and expose our limitations, asking hard questions and motivating us to action. Beaver invites us to explore our differences, imagine our gifts, and commit to the journey. Wow, this is basically all the advice that was coming through for you guys. Yeah, it's time to release excuses. It's time to really, ask yourself the hard and important questions. Ask yourself what has and hasn't been working out. What is it that you have learned so far through everything that you have experienced? What are the lessons that you have taken with you? What are your perceived strengths and weaknesses, and how can you work with both to help them propel you forward? And I also spoke about commitment, and we do have that message here of committing to the journey. Yeah, the beaver kind of gives me this feeling of it's time to get to work. It's time to do the work. And it's not to say that you haven't been doing the work, but I do feel like there's been a little bit of avoidance going on. Like maybe we are getting out of our comfort zone, but the new things that we are trying, they're not really challenging us. And that's kind of like avoiding the real challenges, the things that we know are really going to push us out of our comfort zone. Or maybe we have been doing the inner work, but we kind of been setting aside what we really need to be focusing on, what we really need to address, because those are the more heavier topics, the more uncomfortable things. So in order to step into this new beginning, it is being asked of you to no longer avoid what needs to be addressed. But now I'm going to pull out some message and guidance that may assist you as you enter this new beginning or experience this new beginning. So we have penguin with commitment. So more messages of commitment. When life is chaotic, as it often can be, Penguin encourages us to remain focused, committed, and flexible. He demonstrates endurance, emboldening us to face the headwinds and the approaching night. In his determination, we glimpse brightness. In due time, the sun will rise. Having created a warm, loving hearth born out of devotion, he encourages us to keep our word. In duty to ourselves and others, we set an example of responsibility. Okay, the key terms that are really standing out to me that I feel are going to be very important or kind of like describe this new beginning are the words responsibility, duty, devotion, and commitment. Yeah, because I do see you devoted to something, to a path, to a calling. Yeah, and I feel this is also very important, keeping our word. So I also see in this new beginning that whatever promises you are making to yourself, you are keeping them, and you are being very, very careful as to what promises you are making to yourself. Because what I'm seeing here is that if there was any self-sabotaging tendencies in the past, there is none of that in this new beginning. And I do feel called, this card was at the top of the deck, and I feel called to share with you guys. So we have Swan with love, and the message, Swan teaches about awakening the power of self-love and recognizing inner beauty. Drawing energy from our virtue, she encourages us to reflect upon our fortuitous bounty. In the embrace of her grace, we are reminded to swim gently with the currents of life rather than against them. She rouses us to affectionately take review of our emotions, examine the trappings of our humanness, and acknowledge our shortcomings. Once we are able to love ourselves, we are able to love others without expectation. Okay, so these are all the messages I am seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took a moment to watch the advertisement, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. I am wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you're tuning into this reading. And yeah, until the next moment, bye bye. Hello you guys who chose the deep purple colored flower, bienvenidos to your reading. So before I start shuffling the decks and pulling out cards, I would like to share with you what I intuitively picked up on when connecting with the energy of your group. So something very interesting that happened was that I saw in my mind's eye a shadow pass over my head. And then I started getting images, but all the images seems very hazy, very blurry. Like I was seeing it through a dirty lens. So the way I'm interpreting all this is that currently I feel there are a lot of distractions in your life that are keeping you stuck or are holding you back. And so what I sense is that one of the many things that will be occurring in this ending you are about to experience, if you aren't already experiencing it, is that you are going to move your focus away from these distractions. So it's not necessarily that these distractions are going to go away. They're still going to be there, but you are no longer going to pay them any mind. So either you are going to realize what the distractions are, and then by realizing what they are, you are then choosing to no longer pay them any focus. Or if you already know what these distractions are and you've been struggling with removing your focus away from them, then this is kind of a heads up to let you know that these distractions do not have a hold on you, or they will soon no longer have a hold on you. You are and you will be able to remove your attention away from them. Yeah, because I'm sort of picking up on this feeling of enough is enough. No more excuses, no more distractions. It's time to get to work, or it's time to get my game face on, or it's time to move forward. Yeah. But now I'm going to move into the cards, and I'll place the flower over here. So first we will look into what is ending. and then we will find out what new beginning this ending is giving way to. Okay, so what is ending or coming to an end? Group 3. Okay, so 2 cards flipped over, and we have the Empress, which is the 3rd major arcana. And we also have, the 6 of Swords. And to clarify, we have the 5 of Pentacles, number 28, with the anchor. Okay, so right off the bat, what came to mind when looking at the 5 of Pentacles and then with the Empress being here is that a lack of stability or instability in your life is coming to an end. Yeah, because the 5 of Pentacles speaks about temporary financial struggles, being left out in the cold. It expresses a feeling of lack. And then the Empress is so abundant. The Empress speaks about abundance and fertility, growth and expansion with the number 3. And then the 6 of Swords speaks about moving on to calmer waters. It is a card that denotes transitions, forward movement. And what just came to mind looking at the 6 of Swords is entering into a chapter or phase full of peace and tranquility. So I do feel that you guys have been on the search for stability, security, for peace and tranquility. You have been on the search for abundance, for fulfillment. But up until now, it feels like you've been on a constant search. Like you're searching, you're seeking, but you haven't found a place to settle down in. You haven't found what it is that you're looking for. And that whole seeking, searching has created a feeling of lack or a feeling of instability. Because I do feel like some of you guys could have been experiencing something like physically moving from one place to the other, relocating. And so that in itself could have created a feeling of instability or security because you haven't been able to find a place in which you can just settle down and anchor in. It could also be that due to a lack of financial resources or a stable financial income, it's been very difficult for you to stay at one place. Or it could be that you haven't found a place that feels right to you, that feels like home to you. And so you keep on the search for that special place, for the right place. The other thing I'm seeing here, the other possibility or situation some of you could be experiencing is constantly changing jobs, going from one job to another, or struggling to secure a good job. Yeah, because with this 6 of Swords, I feel like there has been a lot of movement, like going from one place to the other and not being able to catch a break. It's this feeling of when you feel like you have finally settled down or when you can catch a breath, relax, you find that you can't because you need to move again or you need to pack up your things and go. This could also pertain to relationships, like not feeling stable and secure in a relationship, or the relationships that you have been in haven't been stable. It could be that once you feel like you're starting to get to know someone, or you're starting to establish a connection, or you are moving into like commitment, or you are starting to get comfortable in the relationship or connection, that's when something happens that kind of disrupts the peace. It could be the relationship ends, or one person starts distancing themselves, or something happens that creates a lack of stability or a lack of security. Like it's this feeling of something comes in and shakes your foundations. Yeah, so overall with these cards, I am sensing instability. And so whether it be in your finances, whether it be in your relationships, whether it be in your living situation, or just in general, I do see this instability is what is coming to an end. Yeah, because with the Empress being here, I feel like you guys are simply looking for a place to set your roots. Somewhere where you will be undisturbed so that you can focus on what you want to focus on, so that you can create what it is that you want to create. So maybe some of you have been on the search for a safe environment, for a supportive environment, and up until now you haven't been able to find it. Yeah, because with the Five of Pentacles, it's this feeling of something keeps falling short. Like there's a crucial component that is missing every time. So what I see coming to an end is this search for what it is that you're seeking for. This search for a safe environment, for a supportive environment, for that crucial component, or for the entire package. The other thing I'm seeing here is that a limited mindset, way of thinking or belief is coming to an end. Because with the Empress being here, the Empress has really high standards. But because we do have the Five of Pentacles here, I feel like this is a situation in which there are really high and unrealistic expectations. And holding on to these really high and unrealistic expectations is actually preventing you from growing, or from growing something. Because we do have the Anchor here, and the Anchor to me represents commitment. And then with the Six of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, it gives me this feeling of, if there is just the slightest inconvenience, that is enough to cause this Empress to pack up her bags and leave. And it is because this Empress believes that what is meant for them, or what is right, can have absolutely no inconveniences. Like, it needs to be utterly perfect. And so if there is just a sign of a challenge, then that is enough to get this Empress moving on to something else. And this kind of like mindset, way of thinking, like thinking that everything needs to be perfect, thinking that there could be no inconveniences, thinking that there could be absolutely no challenges, could be a protective or defensive mechanism, especially if this Empress, or you, because I do feel this Empress is representing your energy, has faced many challenges or has been disappointed in the past. You know, if you have experienced a lot of disappointments, then you are going to be very sensitive to anything that might give alert to a disappointment incoming. So it's like, before this gets to where I think it's going to get to, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna pack up my bags and go move on to the next thing. Because I don't want to go through that heartache. I don't want to go through that pain. Yeah, because remember, the Five of Pentacles speaks about a feeling of being left out in the cold. It expresses abandonment. So this could also be something like you choosing to be the first one to leave before you are the one left behind. So there could even be some abandonment wounds. You know, a fear of sticking around in case you are abandoned, in case you are left behind, because it could very well be that that's what you experienced in the past. And so you're carrying on this wound with you, and you're projecting it onto every situation that you come across, especially anything that means something to you. Yeah, because with the Six of Swords, I'm also getting this feeling of constantly running away, or feeling like you need to constantly be running away, being on the move. It could even be that settling down, you know, establishing roots somewhere feels quite scary. It could be that the environments or situations you move away from were safe and stable environments or situations, but because there is a fear of settling down, you found reasons, more like excuses, why not to settle down there. And that's when kind of like self-sabotage can come into play, because it's when we literally get a very safe situation, healthy situation, and we sabotage it because we fear that stability. We fear being disappointed by it. And so before it disappoints us, we destroy it in one way or the other. So if this is an abandonment wound, I do see this wound being healed or being addressed. And that is helping this tendency of constantly feeling like you need to be running away or moving on to the next thing come to an end, where you can feel ready and or safe enough to actually establish roots or see something through. Because the Empress is so abundant. She's so abundant in and within herself. So it's like this Empress is carrying all the seeds to make a beautiful garden grow. But up until now, she hasn't been able to grow this garden because she just can't find somewhere to plant her seeds. And it could be because she literally hasn't found somewhere good enough, like good fertile soil to plant her seeds in, or it could simply be because she fears letting go of her seeds. She fears trusting something external from her to work with her to create this beautiful garden that she's meant to create. And I did mention at the beginning how I felt like there were a lot of distractions that were holding you back. And these distractions could very well be excuses, or could very well be this really high, unrealistic expectations, which end up being excuses. Because what is coming to mind, it's like nitpicking at this point. Just to give you an example, let's say this Empress has entered into a very healthy, very balanced relationship. But she ends the relationship with the reasoning that person in the relationship or connection was way too kind. Like, oh, I had to end that relationship because when I talked to them, they listened to me so attentively that it made me nervous. Because I have never been listened so attentively to. And it was just so weird. So I ended the relationship. Or it could be something like, what's those things that were coming out on like social media where like, oh, he or she is a 10, but it could be something like that. Like, no, they were a really good partner, but they mixed all their food instead of eating one thing at a time. And I found that weird, and I just had to end the relationship. It's like nitpicking at that point. Like purposefully looking for reasons why you should leave, why you should go. Even if those reasons deep down don't make any sense or are not really reasons, they're more like excuses. Excuses you're giving yourself to perpetuate the fear, to validate the fear. The fear of being abandoned, the fear of being left behind, and so forth. So if this resonates, this is what is coming to an end. This mindset, this belief, this perpetuation of a fear that keeps holding you back, that does not allow for you to fully embrace and experience what it is that you truly seek, what it is that you are craving and wanting. Because with the Five of Pentacles being here, I do feel like you guys are longing for commitment. You do want stability. You do want peace and harmony. You do want to feel abundant and fulfilled. You do want to find your match, because the Empress is making me think of reciprocating. So I do feel like you are seeking something or someone that reciprocates your energy. But it could be that whenever you do find someone that is reciprocating you, you could end up running away from that person or turning away from that person, because you are starting to see that, hey, this person is exactly what I'm looking for. And because it's exactly what I'm looking for, I'm afraid to let it come in, because the disappointment of losing it is much greater than not ever having it. And so you're ending this tendency. You're no longer holding yourself back. You're giving yourself a chance and opportunity to experience and have what it is that you actually desire and want. And even though the fear might still be there of losing it, you're still giving yourself a chance to have it, to see it through, and to work through it, to work through the inconveniences and whatever challenges might arise. Because nothing is without challenges. Even the most peaceful and harmonious of things and situations have their challenges. For example, having a disagreement with a partner doesn't indicate that the relationship is going to fail. It just means that you had a disagreement. That's all. Because no two minds think exactly alike all the time. There are bound to be some disagreements. There are bound to be some times where you're not meeting eye to eye. And so the point is not to focus on the fact that there is a disagreement, but it's to focus on how we can work through this disagreement. What we can learn from each other through this disagreement, through not meeting eye to eye. It's also kind of coming to accept that there are bound to be challenges and minor inconveniences, and that not all challenges or minor inconveniences are a red flag. They aren't a reason to abandon something or to run away from something. So what could also be occurring here is that you are coming to better discern what is really a red flag and what is just your fear acting up, or this abandonment wound, or insecurities, if there are insecurities or doubts. Yeah, so that's what I see that is coming to an end. But now let us look into what new beginning this ending is giving way to. Ooh, okay, so we have the Devil, and this one flew off frame. So we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And to clarify, we have the King of Cups, number 24, with Hand in Hand. Okay, so with the King of Cups being here, this being a court card, I do see someone playing a significant role in your life in this new beginning. The King of Cups is a water sign, so Cancer, Scorpio, and or Pisces. This person could be a water sign, sun, moon, or rising, or could have water predominance in their chart, but that doesn't have to be the case. This is just letting us know that this person who will be playing a significant role in your life is someone who is very empathetic. They are nurturing, and I do feel like they can be a bit emotionally sensitive, or they're just very tapped into or connected with their emotions. They don't run away from them, they don't hide them, they don't suppress them. They're really good at expressing their emotions. And I do get the feeling that this King of Cups is going to help you open up a little bit more. If you have trouble expressing your emotions or feeling through your emotions, this King of Cups will help you with that. And because we do have the Devil card here, this King of Cups could actually be a counselor, a therapist, a specialist, a professional, someone who has some experience or knowledge about what it is that you're going through or what it is that you have gone through. Because I know that no matter in what position I put this card, this King of Cups is always going to be looking in this direction. But I don't know why that's really standing out to me, the fact that this King of Cups is looking over here. It's like, I feel this King of Cups understands. They understand what it is that you're going through. They empathize with you. And I do feel like this King of Cups is going to lend you a hand, or they're going to help you come out of a difficult time and or situation. They could be the person who kind of pulls you out of this situation that you are currently in. They could be the one to help bring this to an end. I'm not saying that they're the one bringing this to an end or creating this change in your life, but they are assisting in some way. They could even be there supporting you as you are going through this transition from this ending to this new beginning. it feels like this King of Cups facilitates things for you. Like they help bring a lot of things into perspective. They might even help you see what the distractions in your life are, what this devil energy is. Because with the devil and the Ten of Pentacles being here, I am again picking up on a feeling of lack. And because we do have the devil card here, which often speaks about obsessions, addictions, I feel like this lack that I keep picking up on is predominantly something occurring at a subconscious level. It's like having a lack mentality. Like even though there's hope for something more, even though there's this search for abundance, which is what the Ten of Pentacles speaks about when it's upright. The Ten of Pentacles speaks about financial security. It's literally the card that denotes settling down, establishing roots, creating a legacy. And so we have 2 cards in your spread that represent abundance, stability, security. So the fact that the energy is here lets me know that this is meant to be in your life. You are meant to have this or create this or nurture it. Yet something is blocking it. Yeah, because that's what it feels like to me with these 2 cards. It's a blockage. Something is blocking it. And what I feel is blocking it is it could be a lack mentality. It could be a fear of abandonment. It could be like projections. For example, you keep projecting a past experience or a past outcome onto present and or future situations. Like going back, because we do have the hand in hand here, going back to the relationship example. Let's say if in the past you experience an unhealthy relationship and you haven't fully healed from that or moved on from that, then every relationship you enter in, you see your past relationship in it. And it's because you're projecting your previous relationships onto these new relationships. Yeah, because the devil makes me think of something being ingrained, something being at a subconscious level. So you might not be fully aware that you are projecting your past onto present experiences, or that you are attached to a certain belief that isn't serving you. Because again, with the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like you guys work hard to find what it is that you need, find what it is that you desire to create it. Yet something keeps blocking you from achieving what it is that you want to achieve. Yes, that feeling of something holding you back. And I feel it's something that's coming at a subconscious level. I don't necessarily feel like this blockage is coming from outside sources. It's more something that's coming from within. Like, for example, just to give an example, someone wants to start a business of their own, and so they start a business. But even though they're hoping for this business to thrive, in the back of their mind, they're constantly thinking, this isn't going to work. This is going to fail just like the previous business venture or like the last project that I did. So even though you're wanting for this business to thrive and to do well, at a subconscious level, you're already expecting this to fail. And so it's like the subconscious ends up being stronger than your desires, because it is the subconscious that drives you, that inspires you to take certain actions that will lead you to the result that your subconscious is rooting for, which is for this to fail. So even though that's not your intention, that's kind of like what is happening at a subconscious level. And the subconscious doesn't really know what is good and what isn't, what is positive and what is so-called negative. The subconscious does exercises what it's given, what it's fed. So what I see happening in this new beginning is a reprogramming of the subconscious. And I feel like this King of Cups here is the one who's going to help you with that. Yeah, because the devil also makes me think of like a subconscious fear. that doesn't really let you enjoy your blessings, whatever blessings may come your way. Yeah, because the Ten of Pentacles showing up in reverse gives me this feeling of no matter how good something it is, there's always fault to be found with it. And if that's the case, if you often feel this way, again, I feel it's coming from this subconscious fear or this subconscious belief, which might manifest as like having really high, unrealistic expectations. Because I'm not saying standards are bad or that your standards are unrealistic. It's good to have standards. It's good to know what your standards are. What I'm talking about are unrealistic expectations, where you're not even giving yourself a chance to find what it is that you want, a chance to create what it is that you want. I'm not so sure if this is true, but I feel like when it comes to unrealistic expectations, they end up coming through as excuses. Not reasons, but excuses as to why not try something, why not nurture something. You know, the devil often talks us away from doing the things that are good for us, doing the things that are healthy for us, doing the things that will bring about a sense of fulfillment. The devil likes to keep us stuck, feeling like we're powerless, feeling like we are not good enough or nothing is ever good enough. Makes us feel or makes us believe that happiness is something that is obtained and that we will never be able to obtain it. Yeah, and that belief keeps us from being happy, because happiness isn't something that is obtained. Happiness is an emotion. It's something that is felt and can be felt at any given moment or time. It isn't a result of an accomplishment. It isn't a result of a connection, a partnership, an environment, a place. Happiness just is. And so the devil feeds us lies in order to make us think like what we want we can't have, or we need to be something or achieve something before we can have it. And then we set off to become, we set off to achieve, and then the devil keeps reminding us that nothing we do will ever be enough. And so it keeps us stuck. I feel like the shadow that I saw in my mind's eye, kind of looming over me or passing over my head, was this devil energy, this distraction, because the devil is just that, it's just pure distraction. So yeah, I feel like that's what's happening in this new beginning. You are recognizing the devil in your life, the distraction, and you are no longer paying attention to this devil. You're realizing that the devil doesn't have a hold on you. The devil is just there, whispering BS to us. But we have the choice whether we listen to the devil or not. And we do have, like, it's interesting because in the devil we literally have like something that represents, bondage, connection, having these two scavengers chained to the same object. And then we have something here that represents connection as well, but in a different kind of environment and situation, which is two hands holding, which for me represents, instead of like bondage, represents partnership, connection. Yeah, I see you letting go of unhealthy attachments, whether it be to things, whether it be to people, whether it be to thought patterns. I see you releasing these attachments and entering into healthy connections. The hand in hand makes me think of like working together, of healthy connections and relationships. Yeah, so I feel like this hand in hand is also indicating that in this new beginning, you will be in a healthy relationship or connection. And it doesn't have to be romantic, it could be platonic. And for a lot of you, I feel like that will be the case. This connection or relationship will be platonic. And the relationship will be with this King of Cups. And I feel like this King of Cups is someone who will help you move your attention and your focus away from this devil energy, from these distractions. they will help you open up about what your fears are. So as mentioned, this could very well be someone that you will be working with to work through these limited beliefs or these subconscious fears. Because we do have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I did speak about you letting go of unhealthy attachments, but if you are currently in an environment, relationship, and or situation which is unhealthy or detrimental to your well-being, be it mental, be it emotional, or even physical, you will be walking away or moving away from this environment, situation, and a relationship. But now I want to see what the transition from this ending to this new beginning will be like. So we have the Magician. Okay, that's beautiful. So the Magician speaks about being in your power, speaks about taking initiative, being assertive, and how it's coming through is taking control back of your life. So I'm getting major self-empowerment vibes with the Magician. So as you transition from this ending to this new beginning, I see you feeling more empowered. Yeah, I'm being reminded again of that phrase or message that came through at the beginning, enough is enough. Because with the Magician, I am sensing a little bit of fear, a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of nerves. But even though there is a little bit of all of that, the Magician is still choosing to stand tall with their head up high and move forward. So as you transition from this ending to this new beginning, I see you feeling infused with this desire to create positive changes in your life. Okay, the Magician is speaking about a shift in mindset where we're moving away from everything happens to me to I can help make things happen for me. Yeah, it's like no longer feeling like you have no control over a situation or over your life, because the Magician is a creator, and the Magician reminds us that we are the creators of our own reality. And so I see you taking on that role. Little by little, you are taking on that role of the Magician, of being the creator of your own reality. I see you feeling empowered in the knowing that you can create positive changes in your life, that you are a creator, that things don't just happen to you, they happen for you. Meaning that most experiences are an opportunity for you to create something better, or for you to get out of something old in order to step into something new. Most experiences are a door. Yeah, and so like instead of like running away or feeling like you need to be running away or in search of something better, you are standing your ground. We literally have this Magician standing their ground and saying, you know what? No, enough of me being on the search for my desires or for the outcome that I want. I am done with that because I am the Magician. I have the power within me to create what I want here and now. It's not out there. What I'm searching for and looking for is not out there. What I'm searching and looking for is in here, in me. I just need to find a way to bring it out of me, to bring it into this physical 3D. This could even be speaking about a feeling. Like maybe what you're searching and seeking is a feeling, not so much something tangible, but something felt. Maybe what you're seeking and searching is for you to feel safe and secure within yourself, for you to feel empowered, for you to feel and believe that you are the Empress. Yeah, because the Empress and the Magician both speak about creative energy. So you guys are the magician. You guys are the empress. You are abundant within yourself. You might have a lot of creative ideas. You might be full of inspiration. I feel like you guys have the motivation. You have the desire, the drive. You have everything that you need in order to thrive, to succeed, to create what it is that you want to create, to experience. The only thing that is, let's say, holding you back is a way of thinking. It's a fear. And so I feel like once recognizing what this fear, this way of thinking, this limited belief, this devil, this distraction is, you can start in a way realizing your potential. Because I feel like you guys are coming through as very badass, actually. I feel like the moment that you guys realize what is holding you back, like, you won't waste any time in releasing it or putting this devil in their place. Because the feeling I'm getting with the magician, it's like, I'm not going to spend another second entertaining you, the devil. I don't want to be shaking hands with the devil anymore. I want to be shaking hands with my higher self, with my desired future, with people and things and situations that are going to support me there, that are there to support me as I grow. So the transition phase is very much you stepping into your power, you taking action, inspired action, or you taking the necessary steps in order to get out of negative patterns and or cycles, to release harmful attachments. It could even be stepping away from a victim mentality. Because the victim mentality, why it's not promoted, it's because it perpetuates the feeling of powerlessness. And that feeling of powerlessness keeps us stuck, keeps us repeating negative patterns and cycles. And look, the card at the bottom of this deck is Death. Yeah, Death is literally a card of transitions and transformation, letting go of the old in order to welcome in or make space for the new. Yeah, so I see you actively letting go of anything and everything that does not serve you, of anything and everything that is holding you back. Like you're actively working to let it go, or working through anything that needs to be worked through and or healed in order for you to fully step into your new beginning, in order for you to claim your abundance, to live abundantly, to give yourself permission to live abundantly. And now I just want to pull out a card to see what it is that you can look forward to in this new beginning. So we have the Moon. So the Moon can speak about uncertainty, fears, anxieties, hidden truths. So something that you can look forward to in this new beginning is clarity. And we literally have this Moon and its reflection. So I also see you having better clarity of yourself. What holds you back? What prevents you from expressing all of who you are? Because the Moon also makes me think of the subconscious. It's like looking deep within, taking a look at your subconscious, diving deep. And so I feel like what you can expect in this new beginning is having a better understanding of your subconscious. What just came to mind is having a clearer view of yourself. So I do see you entering a chapter in your life where you are being more honest with yourself. Yeah, because with the Moon and its reflection, it's like you're no longer hiding or running away from yourself, or running away from your desires. The other thing I'm getting here is no longer running away from your shadow side or your shadow self. And we all have a shadow side or a shadow self. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys in this new beginning, you could be doing like deep inner work. But I feel like you're not going to be doing it alone. You are going to be doing it with the support of someone. Yeah, if you have been hesitant on doing the inner work because you would feel more safe if there was someone kind of guiding you. You know, I'm thinking of it like yes, you are willing and wanting to dive deep into the ocean, but you would feel safe knowing that there is someone on the surface above water waiting for you to pull you out if it's necessary, if it's needed. If that resonates with you, if you have been asking for that support or for that guidance, know the universe has heard you, and that's what they're bringing in this new beginning. And I feel like you guys, as soon as you realize that you do have the support, that there's someone who has your back, that there's someone there waiting at the surface above water, you dive deep. You don't hesitate, and you dive deep. You start doing that inner work. You start facing this devil. Yeah, because the moon also makes me think of intuition and emotions, you know. The moon is often associated with the realm of emotions. So I also see you connecting and tapping into your emotions, like learning about your emotions, learning how to feel through your emotions, learning and understanding that it is okay to feel, to express your emotions in a healthy way. Yeah, I just feel like in this new beginning, you are going to gain better clarity about yourself, about what has been hindering you, what has been blocking you, what you have been running away from within yourself, what it is that you actually desire, what it is that you actually want. So I feel like things are going to start changing in your external, in your outer reality, once things start changing at a subconscious level. Yeah, because I'm getting here with the Magician, like your outer reality reflects your inner reality. And again, we have like reflection here. So first we must kind of enter into an abundant mentality, so that then we can start allowing for that abundance to come into our outer reality, for it to fully manifest. And this is not to say that you have to be fully healed, because I don't even know what that means, to be fully healed and yada yada, to experience the life that you desire. This is more about you gradually growing out of a lack mentality into a more healthy and abundant mentality. Because I feel like whatever progress you make at a subconscious level, you're going to see that progress in your outer reality. So it's not like you first have to reach the end goal in order for you to manifest what you want. It's just by you making progress. The progress alone is gonna create so many changes in your outer reality. Because like I said, you guys are already so abundant. It's just that something is stopping you. And it's because I feel like this is more about allowing yourself to align with what it is that you desire. It's not so much about creating it, because I feel like you guys have already created it. Even though you might not see it in your physical reality, I feel like you guys have already created it. And with the Magician showing up here, I feel like you guys do have this ability to manifest in the blink of an eye. Like, I feel like you guys are great at manifesting, but you haven't been really able to exercise this ability or to its fullest potential because of these subconscious fears or limited beliefs. And so I feel like it's like these fears, these limited beliefs have been restraining your magic. And so as soon as you start releasing them, like more of your magic comes through. I know that was a very corny and cheesy way to like express this, but yeah, that's how it's coming through. Like the progress alone is going to create so many changes in your outer reality. You're going to find yourself aligning with the right things or the right people, like being at the right place at the right time. And it's because there's no more resistance, or there's going to be less resistance. Yeah, because I feel like these fears here, they create a lot of resistance. They create a lot of doubt and confusion. And that doesn't allow for you to just follow your inner compass, for you to align with what is of you and for you. It keeps pushing you onto situations, onto people, environments that are unhealthy, that keep feeding into these limited beliefs. And I did mention the moon can represent intuition, so I do see you, and especially with the Magician being here, I do see you feeling even more connected with your intuition in this new beginning. But now I want to pull out some numbers just to see any important dates or time frames. So we have the number 8 and we have the number 11. I feel like, okay, yeah, one more. And we also have the number 10. Okay, so the months of August, October, and November could be of significance, or from August to November could be an important window of time, or another important window of time could be from October to November. But these could also be representing important dates, the 8th, the 10th, or the 11th of a month. And also these could be numbers that you might be seeing often as you're going through this ending, this transition, or about to enter this new beginning. But now, to wrap up the reading, I want to pull out some extra oracle cards to get advice from the animal realm or your spirit animals for each phase. So first, we will get some advice from the animal realm that may assist you as you're going through this ending. So we have the turtle with duality and the message, comfortable with both transitions. Turtle symbolizes new beginnings and endings. A wanderer by nature, he has learned the importance of duality. His slow yet steady pace is a reminder that life moves forward despite one's speed. Fast or slow, the world keeps spinning. Turtle teaches us to muster tenderness or toughness depending on the situation. In his presence, we are invited to remain close to earth, finding admiration for her fragility and strength. So the turtle could be an animal spirit that will be working very closely with you as you are going through this ending. So if you start seeing turtles a lot, be it in real life, in your dreams, or images of turtles, then that could be an indicator that you are about to experience this ending or you are going through this ending. But now I'm going to pull out advice that may assist you as you are going through this transition or experiencing it. So we have the ego with reverence and the message, in his swiftness, flight, and courage, ego sets the example of rising above. With his keen sight, he sees both the prevailing patterns of the ground below and the majestic views before him. Soaring in silence, he finds his orientation in the distance. Equipped with the solemn reverence for pledges, he explores higher truths, greater powers, and commitment to one's word. Leading with purpose, ego invites us to consider the importance of respect, reciprocity, and community. With freedom comes responsibility. Yeah, the ego also reminds me of leadership. I feel it goes very hand in hand with the magician. Because the magician is about taking responsibility of your life, being accountable. And we literally have this magician standing at the top of a hill or mountain. Yeah, so I also get this feeling of rising above your challenges or no longer feeling powerless in your situation, in your life. And there is also this message of, kind of stepping away from the situation, of seeing the patterns from a higher perspective, from an objective perspective, in order to start realizing how you can get out of these patterns or how you can break them. Yeah, so in this transition, I see you kind of taking accountability and taking responsibility for what is in your control, for what is in your power to create a positive change in. And then, creating that positive change. Yeah, but now I'm going to pull out a card or advice that may assist you as you are commencing this new beginning. So we have the buffalo, with connection, and the message, generation after generation, buffalo reminds us of our sacred path. With hope for the future, she encourages us to honor every walk of life, to be grateful for each day, and to respect what we have been given. She tells us of stories entwined with sadness and forgiveness, prosperity and humility. In the shadow of broken promises, she imparts messages of persistence and survival. Her presence awakens responsibility and guides us to live in harmony with one another. When Buffalo presides, it is time to give thanks for all of life's gifts. Ooh, so it's interesting how we have the key term connection, because I did mention how you will be establishing healthy or a healthy connection in this new beginning. Yeah, and the buffalo reminds me of seeing something through. Yeah, so know that whatever you set your mind to, you will accomplish it. You will see it through. I did mention how you guys are very, very powerful. Know that your mind is super powerful. So it's important to get your mind, your subconscious, aligned with what you want to create, because your mind is so powerful. This message just came to mind. Your mind isn't the enemy. Your mind is an ally that you can work with. All that is required is for you to learn how to work with this ally of yours. Your mind believes whatever it is that you feed it. So, feed it well, nurture it well, and it will assist you. Yeah, but I didn't point out the zodiac signs. I just talked about the King of Cups, but just to point out some zodiac signs very quickly in case they are of significance. We do have the Empress here, which is associated with the zodiac signs Taurus and or Libra, and then the Devil card is associated with Capricorn. And the Magician, since there is a magician in El Tarot, the Magician is associated with Aries. So Taurus, Libra, Aries, and or Capricorn, as well as water signs. Yeah, and then the Moon also reminds me of Cancer and Pisces. But these are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching until the very end. And a huge thank you to all of you who took a moment to watch the ads or just let them play in the background, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, know that I truly do appreciate it. But I am wishing you a wonderful rest of your day, evening, or night, depending on when you're watching this reading. And until the next moment, bye-bye.